back, probably read it. Everybody ready to stand up? All right, this is the meeting of the regular council for the city of Ellsworth for Monday, December 11th, 2023. Let's stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, the first thing we're gonna have on the agenda will be our proclamation to commemorate the Ellsworth Bearcats. So certainly wanted to, I'll go ahead and flip on my PDF here. Want to commemorate a great season. So we've kind of created some language for you. And as I thought about it, I kind of isolated 5 groups of people who wanted to celebrate tonight, because when you win a championship like you have, it's athletes, right? You gotta have the cheerleaders, but you gotta have a lot more than that. When those other pieces falls apart, it makes it really hard. And so we want to commemorate everybody tonight. So I'm gonna read it to you. In recognition of the Ellsworth High School football team, whereas the Ellsworth High School football team, known as the Ellsworth Bearcats, has exhibited exceptional sportsmanship, dedication, and skill throughout the season. And whereas the team's commitment to excellence has resulted in an impressive overall record of 9 wins out of 11 games, boasting a remarkable 81.8% win rate. And whereas within the Unified School District 327, Ellsworth Bearcats secured a noteworthy 2nd place standing in the North Central AA category, highlighting their prowess and determination. And whereas the success of the Ellsworth Bearcats is not only attributed to the athletes and cheerleaders, but is also a testament to the unwavering support and commitment of various groups. And whereas we extend our deepest gratitude to the following. First of all, the athletes and cheerleaders for their outstanding performance, resilience, and commitment on and off the field, representing Ellsworth with pride. Families, acknowledging the support and encouragement provided by the families of the athletes and cheerleaders, recognizing the crucial role they play in fostering a positive and nurturing environment. Leadership team, including Coach Amoka, other coaches, principals, teachers, staff, and Superintendent Dina Hilbig for their guidance, mentorship, and dedication to the development of the team and its members. The 4th category, unsung heroes, recognizing the invaluable contribution of unsung heroes such as the Ellsworth Kiwanis Club, the VFW American Legion, whose support enhances the community spirit and ensures the success of the team. Number 5, community and fans, expressing gratitude to the Ellsworth community and fans for their enthusiastic support, creating an atmosphere that fuels the team's success. Now, therefore, I, Daniel Finnegan, Mayor of the City of Ellsworth, do hereby proclaim 11 December 2023 as a day to honor and celebrate the achievements of the Ellsworth Bearcats. Let this proclamation serve as a token of our appreciation for the hard work, dedication, and positive impact the team has brought to our community. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the official seal of the City of Ellsworth to this affixed this 11th day of December 2023. So we've got a seal on here and everything ready to go. All right, so if we could, I want to present.
The first one is the one
Yeah, that's right. This is the other one. Okay. So we want to go out here. Coach, do you want to come on up here real quick? Alan, you want to take the pictures here?
He doesn't have a camera. I have a picture. I have.
He's one too.
Do we want the team?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just kind of get everybody up.
Okay, I can get. Maybe just line up right here.
Okay. Yeah, we can just.
You want to know?
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna.
Okay, let me go over here. Squeeze in there like you love each other. You get closer than this in practice, you can do it. All right, 1, 2, 3. Hold on, let me turn my flash on, because J-Mac, your face is really dark.
That's all right.
1, 2, and Dan, I need to take. One, 2, 3.
That it?
Yep.
All right, Coach, thank you so much. name or you can leave. I got it. Okay, you got it. Okay, all right. Good job. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. We have a second proclamation. This one's in recognition of the Kansas Department of Transportation and the contractors for the intersection of Highway 156 and Old 40. Definitely a much improved, safer situation. I thought it turned out great. I don't know, John, have there been any accidents since it's been finished at all, or?
I don't know for sure.
Okay, I've not seen anything, so it just seems a whole lot safer, so.
Seems like it functioned better.
Yeah, so we want to definitely commemorate that, so. We'll do this one. So whereas the safety and well-being of our citizens are paramount concerns for the city of Ellsworth, and whereas the intersection of Kansas Highway 40 and Kansas Highway 156 plays a crucial role in the daily lives of our residents, commuters, and visitors, and whereas the turn lane project undertaken by the Kansas Department of Transportation in collaboration with the dedicated contractors, including the esteemed Kirkland-Michael engineering firm, has resulted in significant improvements to the aforementioned intersection, and whereas the collective efforts and unwavering commitment of these entities have undoubtedly made the intersection safer and more efficient, contributing to the overall betterment of our community. Now, therefore, I, Daniel Finnegan, Mayor of the City of Ellsworth, do hereby express our sincere appreciation and gratitude to the Kansas Department of Transportation and the contractors involved in the successful completion of the intersection project, and witness that whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the official seal of the City of Ellsworth to be affixed this 11th day of December 2023. So, John, we really appreciate that, all the hard work. So we'd like to present it to you. Yeah, let's go to the platform. You got it?
Yep.
All right, thank you. That's good. Here, take us. All right. All right, moving on to the next section of our agenda, the consent agenda. The approval of the November 27th City Council meeting minutes includes the TIF District Public Hearing minutes, the Budget Amendment Public Hearing minutes, and the regular 11/27 regular meeting minutes, along with the claim ordinance A01-1123. That's the agenda item report. All together is the consent agenda.
On page 16, Wayne was the one that voted against, I was.
Oh, I forgot to change that. Somebody even told me that. Sorry. Right. Sorry, Wayne.
So you're human after that.
I guess so.
No, I think it did. He said they caught it.
We did.
They caught it, didn't they?
Yeah, sorry. I think they will actually correct me on that one.
Anybody see anything else? Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda with the TIF District Public Hearing minutes, Budget Amendment Public Hearing minutes, 11/27 regular meeting minutes, and claim ordinance A01-1123.
Second.
What's the correction?
It's one correction on the regular council minutes.
Okay. So Councilor Renard has made the motion and Councilor Hanson has seconded the motion to approve the consent agenda, including the approval of the November 27th City Council regular meeting minutes, with the correction on page 16 that the no vote be attributed to Aaron and not to Wayne. The TIP district public hearing minutes and the budget amendment public hearing minutes, including claim ordinance A01-1123. Any other concerns? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. All right, next section of our meeting is petitions and delegations. For all comments, please state your full name and whether you're an Ellsworth City resident. All comments are limited to 5 minutes per subject unless City Council has further questions. Would anybody like to make comments tonight? Come on up, Don.
Just a positive note, I noticed here with the nice weather that we've had that, the city in conjunction with Tyler and Sons have done some remarkable jobs on the curb and guttering around town. It's a big improvement. Job well done, guys. That's all I have.
Don, I'll let Troy know on this stuff.
All right, anybody else? Nobody else? Okay. Unfinished business. We have the manhole cover assemblies for downtown water meters, agenda item report, 23-340.
Dan, permission to speak.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm a couple months ahead, after the fact, but I have, been working with Mako to develop some lids that, will fix the downtown issue with the protruding antennas. And I've been working with the water department, to develop those, and, we want to place an order for these with Mako. We've developed the prototype. He took one of our lids and the antenna and developed a prototype that I think will work well. The designs are enclosed, and I'm asking for permission to place an order for 42, which is the account that I've gotten, that will replace all the lids downtown. And it'll give us a model to replace others, because there's others that I don't even have an issue with around town that we can also replace with these prototypes. And they'll be dipped. It's a little more expensive because they will be galvanized to extend the life of them.
Have they built any of them and tested them yet?
We built one prototype, and I had one of the wire guys go out and check it, and he said it would be good. The only change that we made to the original prototype is he wanted to place so you can put a hook into it and pull it out.
So the antenna worked and all that?
As far as I know, yes.
And it's flat and it's not
Yes.
sticking up.
That is correct. And if you want, maybe I can have them do 5 just to start, and we can test out those 5 and make sure they work. But I just wanted to show you that I am making progress on what you have instructed me to do, and I'm a little behind, but just asking for permission to start resolving the issue.
They tested on 5 or whatever would be a good idea. You need a motion for that?
Well, I would like a motion to make the purchase, and then I will assure you, I will do as directed, is to test them on 5 first before I do a full install.
I just use the purchase contingent on.
That'll work, actually working 5 prototypes. Did it work go through this?
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, I would vote on the approval of purchase of the manhole covers on. How are we saying that? Contingent upon 5 prototypes working accurately.
Council Johnson had made a motion to approve the purchase of the manhole cover assemblies contingent upon 5 prototypes working properly. Councilor Scritchfield has seconded that motion. Any debate or concerns? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. All right, moving on to new business. First item, special assessments, agenda item report 23-336. Want to go from here, Dustin?
Mr. Mayor, Ken Arnold has recently purchased two properties within town, one at 225 St. Louis and one at 215 West Third Street. He come on up, Mr. Arnold. Sure. If that's all right with you, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, absolutely.
He is requesting that the city remove the special assessments for weed removal and truck property mitigation that we have billed to the properties. I told him that that's a council decision. My personal perspective is that I'm requesting a contingency. That if you're gonna mitigate that house, we put a time period on it, and then we'll refund you. That's my proposal. You do what you will with my proposal after talking to our attorney and the staff. Because you could always turn around and sell it, that's my perspective, and so to protect us from that. Sure. If you agree to mitigate the property within 6 months, we'll refund you and the house is on the St. Louis property, correct?
St. Louis, and then I also have one on it's an empty lot.
Okay, so I'm mixing them up, so it's one on Third Street that has,
The Third Street has a house on it, right?
so I would propose to council that, if you cover the cost of the assessments now,
Okay,
we will refund it if you mitigate the house on that property in 6 months.
okay.
And it's incumbent upon you. We're not contacting you, you just
Right.
called
I'll
us.
come back to
You
you.
can get it, this is the first time we've done this, so you
Yeah.
call Dustin, Dustin's like, oh yeah, I remember that, and you go through the process, and then as we move forward,
Sure,
we do the same thing. So what does everybody think about that? That took a little discussion.
yeah.
So we're gonna
So
get our,
when you buy these,
Yeah.
you know you gotta pay that? I mean,
Well-
or not?
I knew that I was gonna pay the property tax. But I
Isn't that
didn't
part of the
know.
property tax?
Yes.
So you didn't know that, you knew you were gonna,
Well, I knew that there was property tax to pay,
yeah,
and I already had bought 3 other properties that I'm working on too. And I thought, well, okay, property tax shouldn't be too bad on those. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, there's $1,000 of mowing that, you know, I already mowed both the properties twice, or once, excuse me, and trimmed the trees and what have you.
And to be fair, he has.
And I thought, wow, $1,000.
Well, we are trying to make a
Sure, and I
proactive
understand,
approach to
right.
try to clean up the neighbor, and so they have empowered me to go clean those up. But
Sure,
one of our
sure.
mechanisms for recouping the cost for doing that is through the lien process.
Sure,
sound like a fair deal to you?
absolutely.
All right.
Well,
but I mean, I don't get where you gonna get $1,000 on a lot that has nothing on it, there's nothing.
it's compounded over 3 years of mitigating it,
Okay,
and
This
we've
was that one, that's the one across your house, Tyler.
yeah.
And the last time Kip voted though, it took him, I thought it was, but he charged $1,000 to clean it up Boston,
Yeah,
to mow it.
but I don't, I mean, what? It's not like you're not tearing down a house or nothing there, right? I mean,
Oh, no,
that's-
Actually
No.
planning on building.
We're saying is, if he cleans it up,
That other
keeps it clean,
keeps it clean for.
for 6 months, we will
We're giving this money back.
Give
give
him
him his
money
money
back.
back.
So it wasn't, a, hey, I bought this house, we don't wanna pay this, you're giving your money back, we gotta recover our costs, so. Responsibility goes to him, he keeps it clean, he holds on to the property, comes to Dustin, like, here's your money, so it's kind of a good thing, you know?
And after talking to Melissa and Delvin, I was gonna request that I put it in contract. Would you be willing to sign something like that so it protects you in the city?
Sure. Yeah, appreciate your flexibility, we're kind of working through this a little bit. so-
If you choose to do that, that's what I would do to protect us.
I'm good with it. So you're good?
Can I get a motion, or can Mayor request a motion?
Sure, I'd love to request a motion to basically go through what we just did in one sentence so we can approve it.
I'll do my best. Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to refund Ken Arnold the cost of special assignment for his 2 properties at 225 St. Louis and 215 West Third Street, contingent upon him, are we saying keeping it clean or
Mitigating the house.
Mitigating
the house on
the
Third
house.
Street.
Within 6 months' time,
Yes,
so by June 11th, June 15th.
That works for me.
I'll second that.
All right, Jessica's made a motion to allow Ken Arnold to receive a refund after 6 months for the mitigation fees if he keeps it up. And he will come to Dustin for that. Counselor Scritchfield has seconded that motion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries.
All right.
All right, thank you, Mr.
very
Arnold.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The budget calendar already, here we go. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. A little more detail than last time, so that's.
permission to chime in.
Yeah, go right ahead, yeah.
I just wanted to add a couple of changes. I reviewed this with the staff as well as reviewed it with the county clerk. And just to make sure that my dates matched up with hers, so we would continue to maintain our compliance with R&R regulations. But one of the major highlights that the staff has requested of council is instead of the original way I had it set up is in half-hour increments. You know, like at 5 o'clock right before a couple of council meetings, one to go over personnel worksheets and another to go over capital improvement. When I introduced this to the staff, they said they preferred to go over it, you know, face to face, pick one night in March to go over both of them. And so that way it's face to face between department heads and council. And they felt like that would be a much better way to have that discussion as opposed to multiple half-hour sessions, at least for the first part. So you'll notice on March 11th, I think it's March 11th, no, I stand corrected, March 18th. That's when I was gonna propose having that work session. It's a Monday night. It's at 5:30, I'll feed you. We'll hang out at the 900 room. And, you know, just have a face-to-face conversation, because the staff really wants to communicate with you and talk to you. Share with you what they're feeling, what person to person, why they're asking for what they're asking for. They just felt it would be easier that way.
And that's the week
More intimate setting.
before spring break's the week after that, or the week before it. One of
I
the.
remember checking, it was a
Yeah.
week after. that.
Yes, okay. Probably change it if we need to.
Yes, but that was, the date was more of just a relative thing with the staff just like some more, one-on-one settings. That was their proposal. Yeah, apparently you wouldn't do that when Scott was still here, and they felt like that was a much better format than me having a percent and us being in it's a lot less pressure and we can have a lot more honest conversation through a work session is how they felt. I'm not misrepresenting anything like. Okay.
Good to me.
So Tyler's making a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2024 budget count.
I'll second.
Tyler's made a motion to approve the 2024 budget calendar. Jessica has seconded that motion. Any discussion, debate, concerns? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Next item on the agenda, vacation days cash out policy. Want to explain this, Dustin?
Yes, sir. So I am currently in the process of writing Article C of the Personnel Policies and Procedures Manual, and this is where the meat and potatoes are of our pay policy, our vacation policy. C, D, and E are kind of covering all these topics, and I've been working with the staff through multiple sections of this, entertaining new ideas. The staff's got 3 that I would like to bounce off of you and see if you would be willing to approve something like this. This particular cash out policy is a policy that outlines I have a policy that outlines that anyone who doesn't like to take vacation can cash them out. Now, I've put stipulations in place to protect our budget, because I know there's always potential for abuse. And so what I have done to try to mitigate that is, for example, limitations are they need to carry a balance of at least 5 days in case a family emergency happens. I also have a warning here that any cash out will have tax implications, just as a cover ourselves types of things. I also cap it where they can't take any more than 2 weeks. I do have to amend that language. Because this version of it is not the latest one, I realized, but there was some confusion, especially the police department, over specifying 10 days, so I've amended that to account for that. But it's just the general idea, because I'm gonna present it again in updated form if you approve it. I'm just going through individual sections and wanted to bounce ideas off of you before I went further. See if you had any issue with it. These are all staff-driven ideas and proposals that they wanted to see. This is just one of them.
I'm not familiar with what you guys are using for payroll, but is there any possible issue with applying that or even?
No. It would just be like a one-time payment of that vacation time that they would use. And it would just be, it'd be pretty simple. It would be during a regular payroll, like
Mhm.
I would pay it out on a regular payday.
So it's not the special account.
It wouldn't be special. That was my only like reservation on the whole thing.
The only thing I was thinking. Yeah.
But no, we kind of just came to the conclusion that it would be on a regular payroll.
And I would task the department heads with managing this program.
They're happy with the amount of days. They're on board with this.
That was the main, I didn't hear any feedback regarding that. The main feedback that I got from the original policy is just the 10 days doesn't match well with the police department's hours, so I have to amend that to account for that, but other than that, I didn't get any other feedback.
So you don't know if they're behind it or not?
Yes, they are.
I was gonna say, maybe we should chime in.
Come on up, chief.
So yes, I, first part of your question is yes, we are behind it. I think that, you allow too much and it's a whole, like, this is just a whole new pay period is what it is. So I think that's a little backstory. What kind of started this conversation was an employee asked about, is there any way for me to get a payday loan through my own payroll? And there was some discussion. The answer is no, we're government funded. We can't do this, but this is an option. So if you have an employee that may not have a big, savings account and transmission was out in their car and they're like, how am I gonna pay for that? Like, do I get a personal loan? Do I get stuff like that? Well, if you have enough time on the books, you can take up to 80 hours in essence of a check. You get paid 2 pay periods. You get 2 checks for 1 pay period. So that allows you to fund a Christmas, fund a vacation, fund a transmission on your car or whatever. So I think the big thing would be, if it's too many days, then it can really negatively impact our budgets, because in a sense, this makes 27 pay periods, right, as opposed to 26. So you want to keep the number low enough that it doesn't really negatively impact our budgets, but still high enough that it's worth taking or worth using. I think probably the biggest picture for you guys to see is this is probably going to affect 3 or 4 people total, and they're probably all going to come from my department, because I've got a couple officers, including myself, that never take vacation. We got to pull teeth to get us to take a vacation day. I have officers who are taking vacation days just so they don't lose them. They have nothing planned. They just take the day off because they have to. It is my job to monitor burnout, and I know burnout's very high in our profession. So I monitor that, right? I know my people well enough. I see them all. I can judge it. I feel like, we have every other weekend off. The way our schedules currently are, I don't think burnout's an issue, where I think that a couple of my staff members really like this, especially come Christmas or some project they want to pay for. I myself would use it for certain things just because. I don't think many of the other staff members will probably use it unless there is that emergency, that unforeseen thing that comes up. So yes, the answer to your question is yes. I believe we're all firmly behind the 80 hours. The issue we run into with Mr. Campbell said, 10 days for us, 120 hours for my staff, because they were 12-hour shifts. I don't wanna pay that much, that can be a very negative impact, so it's 2 weeks, basically, what it comes down to. My office work 84 hours a pay period as opposed to 80, so and they don't do it in the 5-day increments, the rest of us on 80 hours too. So, yes, we are behind it. I don't see it being a major impact. Again, it's 27 pay periods for those that choose to take it. You're gonna get hit pretty hard on taxes, obviously, because you're getting 2 checks. That's the understanding that we're gonna have to take that, right, as the employee. But if you're doing it, there's probably a good reason behind it, or you just don't want to take vacation. And again, I think this department has responsibility to make sure their employees aren't getting burned out. So, in a nutshell, yes, we are all firmly behind it. This is great. I never thought of this. I think this is another one of those tools that somebody gets here, or they understand this is something that we offer, at some point. That it could be a retention tool, it could be a hiring tool. Again, you gotta have at the minimum 6 days on the books to use it, and then you can only use 1 day, so you gotta leave yourself with 5. So it will take, roughly a year to be here to be eligible for this, but then we've also got some time for these people, and they, I think it's gotten plenty of benefits, not a lot of negatives about it, personally.
And to add to it, the goal is, but what I'm attempting to accomplish is I can't compete, or I don't want to completely compete with, people over pay, because our budget is limited, but there's other ways. I'm trying to find creative ways that I can enhance the work experience and things we can do to help people out.
And this, I believe, do your research, Mr. Campbell, that a lot of bigger communities, bigger cities and counties do this. It was kind of, there was a few smaller ones, but it's not a real popular thing, I guess. But I think if more communities were to look at it, I think they would actually utilize, at least give it the option to their staff. So.
Well, I presented both a payday advance, just a direct payday advance, which everyone was like, bad idea. When I submitted it to my colleagues, they were all like, bad ideas. So I ditched that one. So this is kind of an alternative that I can meet people in the middle and provide an additional benefit. There's a couple of others that we've been hashing out that I'll present to see if you want to do it or not. I'm doing this slowly because I want this to last for a couple of years.
How much vacation do they earn?
So your first 5 years here, you're in 6.67 a month. And then at your 5-year mark, you go to 8 hours per month. And then at 10 years, you go to 10. And then at 15, you go to 12. And then you cap at 12.
That's something to look at too. You get 20, maybe,
I don't think there's any way you would ever run into this, but I think we all learned that if we don't cover certain basics. Ultimately, you're using up hours, more or less, or adding hours to your paycheck.
Yes.
In a sense. So would you need to cover the city in the aspect of that one employee that goes, well, technically now I'm over my 40 hours, so is that overtime?
It wouldn't be hours.
You're not technically.
It would be,
Okay, you're just getting the pay.
it would be like
Think that. I think you're not technically
yeah,
working.
no, but it doesn't show up on their paycheck as elements either. It will just show up as like a one-time payment. It won't show up as vacation hours. They're basically just cashing in. So
Now,
like,
how
I'll
does that
take it
go?
off the books vacation wise. And then it will be like a one-time payment on, it'll be taxed the same way as it would
Would we
if
still
they were
pay,
using the
you
vacation.
still paying the capers on that, or probably not, because it shouldn't. But
You
it
do
is
have to
set.
pay the
You will pay
capers.
the capers, but it
Yeah.
will not like your insurance won't come out and none of that stuff, that's.
No, but you do have to pay capers.
Social Security.
You pay out
tax,
vacation, you do have to.
You won't pay, just like, we pay, we have 2 pay periods a month, in essence, and when we have 3, we don't pay insurance on that 3rd, we just pay on the 24, not the 26.
But we pay capers on any wages we make.
Yeah, we pay all 26, all 27 pay periods if you did utilize it. Okay. Did I answer your question, or did you just want to just stay out?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I need to.
Yep,
Okay.
yes. I didn't think of that, but yeah, not working it, I think they have a hard leg to stand on.
No, I get that, I get.
I can see
Yeah.
something, you know, why? No, I'm sorry.
No, it's not how this works.
I've done payroll a few times in my life, I'm just saying.
We put a little asterisk on there and it needs about the policy, like, hey, you can't, like, this isn't it.
And does everybody think 5 days for a minimum is enough time to just have? Is it 5 for a year? And that's not a whole lot of something happening in a
And
year.
I thought of that myself too, Tyler. I
10
think,
days? I don't know.
Yeah, that's an arbitrary number, if y'all think
Yeah, I
that
mean,
the
I just
minimum
don't know
amount
if
would
they
be
want to
10.
burn it all up and only have 5 days the whole year.
my only thought of that was, It's gonna take you 2 years to get to utilize this instead of one, in essence, right? Because you gotta have so many on the books to be able to use it.
Yeah.
You know, in essence, you would have to have, if you wanted to use the full 10 days or 80 hours, you have to have 160 hours on the books.
Yeah.
To leave yourself 2 weeks. This, where you still leave yourself 40. Obviously, they've been in a family emergency, as like Dust said, sick leave might qualify stuff for that. We just want to make sure you didn't take yourself down to zero. That way, if you did have a burnout or had something else come up, you still have time to take. You just want to zero yourself out.
Not only that, if there was a situation where somebody did have a family emergency, I can through your powers granted in me, I can authorize them to take unpaid absence to continue to
Do
do it.
FMLA.
And the other option is they may still have sick time. This doesn't apply to sick time.
But I did think about that too,
Yeah.
5 not being a lot, but then if you make it 2 weeks, then you gotta be here that much longer to utilize it. We're kind of, trying to kind of sweeten that pot where we can't financially give you an extra $5 an hour, but this is a new benefit you might be able to utilize in the event of an emergency or just shows you to use.
Yeah.
And if it makes you feel more comfortable, I can change that number. 5 days, I at least wanted a week in there to try to account for that.
I think fine, kind of my experience is a person is gonna really need to use it, is not the person who's gonna have 1,000 hours on the books.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna bump I hit that, I'm gonna run around 240, sometimes I take a day just to take a day. I'm probably gonna utilize it just as an extra paycheck, just because I don't take the time, I really don't. So I have a couple officers that don't too big, and I don't worry about around with them, I think I'm in their life and know enough that it doesn't concern me, so. And I guess, out of curiosity, Callie, it won't affect anything with us being salary, it's still just another, okay,
It'd be just like us,
right, okay.
it'd be just like giving out a bonus, but like, it wouldn't.
It's still your money.
But the way I do it with payroll would be just a one-time payment,
Right.
like a
It's no
sign
different if I were
bonus.
to leave today, get my resignation, I'm not. I got 220 hours of vacation that is owed to me, so you're gonna pay it anyway, you're just paying it now instead of later.
Like when I pay out people's vacation when they resign, I just do a one-time payment of
Right.
their total hours times their hourly rate, and that's a one-time payment on their final paycheck, and that's how I pay it out. So it'd be the exact same thing as that.
So what do you want us to do tonight if you have?
Nothing, I just wanted to get your approval, I guess, if you're okay with something like this, because then I'll reintroduce it to you. When I do the entire Article C. I got a couple of more proposals from staff that I'm currently hammering out with them, and I'll get those before you, and then I'll just do it as one. I just didn't want to present Article C and have you be surprised with all this new stuff. So I wanted to get your buy-in first, or see what you wanted me to do prior to doing it.
I think you're good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks, Steve. You might as well stay up for the next one.
All right, the next item, the agenda is the 2-hour parking proposal, and it's AIR 23-344. Chief, you want to explain it?
No, it wasn't my deal.
It was mine.
It's my opinion, but,
Yeah,
I worked through that one.
Yeah.
some people, yes.
This is, and I'm kind of the one that brought this up to Dustin, because we have an employee that works across the street. She parks in front of our office 8 hours a day, every day, instead of, and
Yeah, that hurts your customers.
when we have people that are acute, like if they can't, like they're having hard time walking. It doesn't seem like it's that far, but when you got major back pain, that's a long dang way to come down the block. And she's fully capable of parking around the corner. It's not like she's 90, she's probably in her 30s. And so, but every day she parks there and I'm like, if you wanna park in front of, fine, park in front of your office across the street. And she parks in front of ours, and it's every day from 8 to noon and 1 to 5.
I do want to specify that I did attempt to respond to her request by asking the law firm to mitigate it, and it worked for about a couple, I can't remember how long it worked, but we're back to the same.
What do you mean mitigate? Did they talk to?
Well, I just asked, hey, look, I didn't.
professional courtesy.
Yes,
Could you just please have your
Oh, so it
employees?
was the law firm across the road.
Yeah, but could you not?
Allegedly, yes.
No, but it was just, can you not ask your employees not to park
Right.
in a parking stall? Because we don't have a 30-minute, we took out the 30-minute in front of our office. We had one, and then we decided that no, because sometimes if we have a new patient, you're there longer than 30 minutes, so we don't want to take that parking space, so we took out the 30-minute. As to not break the rules of being there for 30 minutes, but then you get this gal that parks there for 8 hours every day.
It's 2 hours the right amount. You wanna do an hour or?
I think 2 is good, I mean, 2 is okay.
So, I'm just gonna bring this up. What are you gonna do if there's a bar customer that's there?
Exactly
longer
what
than
we
2
just
hours?
talked about today.
Well, that's, there,
How do I
no,
enforce?
well, and that's the other question, but, that's why I only minimize it from 8 AM to 5 PM. So that, because that's when the majority of downtown in my,
Well, I wish I would have thought of this 10 years ago, because I always had another problem with another business, and their employees would park right out in front of my business for the entire day, right? It would just irritate me.
Right.
So, because I know, like back then, like Bill Hanlon and all them, I wanted them to be able to park as close and let them be able to park as close as possible. So, but, yeah, it makes sense. So, especially if you're throwing in the time slot, makes sense. So,
So my question wasn't about enforcement, about how are we gonna enforce it and how much time are we gonna spend on enforcing it?
That's my concern, and that was my concern for the email, was like, I'm not enforcing unless I'm told to, right? I'm not gonna pay a staff member to go down there for 2 hours and chalk, and then go back in 2 hours and then look again and go, well, that one's still there, now I'm tracking them down, am I towing it, am I ticketing it?
You only one spot, we're talking one spot.
No, it'd be the entire downtown Douglas.
Okay.
So that's my feeling.
Can we just rely on the businesses when you see this friction? It's like an anonymous call.
One would hope so, right? But I think we tried that through the professional courtesy and that didn't work. And then the other side is, and I'll lean on Melissa a little bit for this. So we get, a business call says this car's been there for 2 hours. I don't know if it's been there for 2 hours. I can't testify it's been there for 2 hours. So now I've got to mark this car some way, somehow, chocolate tire or whatever. Business owner, we'll be back in 2 hours and it's still here. These are the steps we take. Well, now the business owner is mad because they've been there for 2 hours. I didn't know it was there for 2 hours. I have no way to prove it was there for 2 hours. So now we're 4 hours into this parking spot minimum, right?
Can they take a picture with a timestamp on it? And
And it's up to and that's gonna be tough for the judge and the city attorney to testify, to say enforcement, and doctor. I get it, I'm just, I'm like, I'm not against the idea, I'm just, in a courtroom, things are a lot different than they are in a council, right? So it's a little more difficult.
parking meters is the other suggestion, that would at least give a timestamp. I know, I think.
So I
It won't work, but I just think there's places, I mean, that you have elderly people like going into payments or the attorney's office or Ellie's now, sorry, yes, Ellie, sorry, but the attorney's office and even Dr. Williams, the pharmacy.
Yeah,
like-
And I empathize, I want business, but I empathize, there's times that I can't park and I'll drive by and the car's been there all day, and I get it.
Well, people might see a sign and.
You hope that there's
well,
some,
that's one
But then I mean,
idea.
can't you just, it's like speed traps. I mean, you don't have to do them every day. You
well,
just
we don't
go-
do speed traps,
Whatever. You know, I'll tell you a story, but anyway, I mean, you just randomly, hey, you're kind of like, hey, just randomly go by and shop a few cars. It's that randomness that sometimes gets people's attention. You don't have to do it all the time. If you miss some, you miss some, but people are like, whoa, so-and-so got a ticket, and you chalked it, and you brought them to court.
so I'll argue, and argue is not the right word, this one comes to my mind. If the council decided that our time shouldn't be spent measuring grass, so we hired a tire code enforcement, took over that, but now our time is gonna be used for chalking tires on Douglas. And I understand it, and I'm willing to do, I've already talked to my staff, and I told them, we'll do what you guys tell us to do, I'm not gonna fight you on it, right, that's not why I'm here. But I'm just giving my opinions and
Right.
Melissa's as well, as far as some of the things we're gonna have to be up against in court.
Right. Could code enforcement fill in that role, or is
They're
it?
just not here 40 hours a week.
Legally speaking, can code enforcement issue parking citations?
No, they would just chalk the tires, right? If they chalk
Can
the
they do
tires, is that gonna hold up legally?
probably could issue the parking tickets if you gave, I mean, it wouldn't
If
be
we
like,
gave them the authority.
it wouldn't be like, yeah, they issue code violations right now.
We could issue citations, but we can also give them permission too. Great
Cops
times.
don't do that.
When I was a child, Great Bend still shot tires. They had a parking enforcement that drove a coachman around. Top tires, probably late eighties, they decided that wasn't feasible anymore, and she transitioned into the chief secretary, and she's still doing that today, but I can remember doing it as a little kid. I can also remember having the parking meters in Great Bend as a little kid too, so they've tried a little bit of everything, and I think now they've just done away with that, done nothing because of the things that it causes, you know, that how do we enforce this, how do we enforce that, there is a clear line. But then you run into like what we have some of the outside streets. We have a 30-minute parking next to a 2-hour parking next to a 5-minute parking next to green, and who knows what green means? Where do you draw the line?
So we just start off with some signage and.
Yeah.
I mean,
You actually write one ticket, where do you get around?
And we're not.
You can say,
I
hey,
think it's just take a ticket. I think if you give people warning, I
Right.
really don't think it's gonna take a ticket.
Right.
If we advertise it well, Callie puts, we put it on the Facebook, they put it in the paper, when we decide.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna take a ticket. I think a warning and people are gonna be like, oh shoot, they're serious about this.
but we still have to find a way to document the warning, you know, to document how long it's been there to make sure, because when we give a warning, that person shows up here screaming and yelling about the police department.
Camera 2 on the light pole.
Hey, I'm down. I'm down.
I mean, how long does it take over signage like that?
Sweeping through, street, Troy, I'm assuming if we do a standard, 20-minute or 2-hour parking, 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, probably a couple weeks, I guess, just guessing, that's a Troy thing, but.
So we've got a couple weeks to hash this out. He could order the signs, and by the time they came here, then we could delay it and install them, you know, I mean, we don't have to install them right away. Right. We can have this debate now, yeah.
Concern. For the last 22 years, well, ever since we've been in the new building, 99% of our staff has parked on the east side of Douglas, right in front of the playground, Ellsworth Elementary School. So you're telling me, and these have been there from like, I get there at 6 in the morning and I get out of there at 4. Are you telling me I can't park there all day now?
I don't think we do the school personally, that's part of Douglas, because so many teachers do park there.
They do.
Yeah.
And it's hard for them to get the
I
2
would
hours.
say starting
So I
Second
think we,
Street, Second
I think
Street
we
side.
cover from 3rd Street on the west side down. And then on the east side from 3rd Street, right? We don't worry about what the playground is. So within front of your building, yes, but
Second
not,
Street,
not across the street.
from Second Street, right?
No,
East
so
side
you
from
go-
Second.
Just on the west side.
That way in front of the
I
church.
wish they parked there in front of the church too.
But as long as it's not Monday through Friday, Saturdays don't count, Saturdays, Sundays don't matter, in the church hours, or if we know there's a funeral going on, we're not gonna. Yeah, it's 2 hours. We're gonna have some gray area break, right? So,
But you know, like you said, it's 2 hours. You know, we may wanna, this may start really looking at some of these other signs, at 5 minutes, 30 minutes, we may have to look at the whole thing, so everybody just has to be ready.
right, I agree with that one, that's a good point, I don't think we do around the school, because that's too, I think that's too difficult, too many teachers park there, and they're already very limited on parking space anyway around the school, and.
Because when we get to writing, man, we get in the zone, you know, pretty soon it's 4 hours, like, what happened?
Right,
You know,
so,
Well, that's why I brought it here, is so we can talk about it, so we can learn things like that. I appreciate that.
yeah, I think we would definitely exclude around that.
So do we vote on the signage tonight? And we agree that this is what we're doing for the sign?
If you need to
No.
tell Dustin to order the signs, 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, 2-hour parking only, something to that extent, like, I'm sure that sign's already made, right? It's just gotta be shipped, because it's a pretty common thing.
Was there something ordinance wise we need to do, or?
Or well, there has to be an ordinance or a resolution, right, Melissa?
Yes.
So it would have to be an ordinance, but I just wanted to talk to
Get
you
the
about
signs
it and
ordered and
see
then do the ordinance.
what you wanted me to do.
Okay, let's
And
go.
then we need to decide, we gotta put one in front of every stall, every 2, I don't know what
Yeah, how many
the.
light poles are there and how high do they need to go?
Right. And KDOT may have some say in it, I
Well,
don't know.
that's something that I need to verify too, is.
Any idea if KDOT have any say?
I don't think that really controls traffic so much, but they would probably want to know about it.
Run them by. You ran into some other issues you wouldn't think KDOT have saying, and they do in the area, so.
So it sounds like everybody's in agreement, order the signs, and then we'll continue to debate, we'll continue, modifying everything, make streamline it, find out where they need to be, what KDOT wants to do with it, and then we'll go from there, so.
And if you don't mind, I won't draft an ordinance with Melissa until I have all the specifics in it, that's okay,
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor.
Okay, all right, we don't need to vote on that, so go ahead and order the signs and go for it. Thank you, chief, appreciate it.
Good,
Thanks, chief.
sit down.
Chief, you have anything else while we're up here?
No,
Is Trevor back there, anybody else back there?
Yeah.
David,
David is.
David, you have anything for us?
I don't know, sorry,
See you, John. Thank you.
I don't know if I bring your paper up, but trying to get all the holes ready for the valve being put in. We have a little water leak up on Second and Evans. So we made a decision today that we'll wait on the leak and try to get these holes opened up for the new valves that we're gonna be put in, because they're gonna be here on Thursday to put these in. And we've had so many water leaks that we haven't been able to get to that. And either that or we're gonna have to postpone those valves being put in again. And it's kind of getting close to, Christmas time and that, and I just don't know if we'll be able to. And we're hoping that tomorrow, that we'll be able to get all the holes done tomorrow. And then get back on that leak up on Second Avenue. If we can't get back up on the leak on tomorrow, we'll definitely get it back on Wednesday. So.
I just want, David, if you don't
Yes.
mind, they did try to locate the leak today at Second and Evans, and where we thought it was, it's not there, so we're gonna have to do some more investigating on that particular one to find it, so. That's part, but we don't want to postpone the replacement of the valves, because like one, as I've told you, is half open. And so there's pressure differential in the 8th Street corridor. Some residents are around 30 or 40 PSI, while others is what, around 190 to 60? 60 to 70, and so we think that's due to that half open valve that we need to get replaced, so that's why I agree with him to continue focusing on replacing these valves, because we're gonna be replacing that one that's open. It's over by the gas station, right?
Yeah.
Quick shop.
Yeah, it's on, it's in between, that little area, on the triangle there. It's in that area right there that we'll be working on that valve and hopefully digging it all out. Get it done.
So forgive the checker holes, but they're fixing a big problem. Like we've got 4 or 5 valves that we found that are broken or need to be replaced, and they're getting that
We
fixed.
have replaced 2 already.
Yep.
Those big 10-inch ones that we had, so we could put the fire hydrant in, because we never could get it shut down. So we put 2 new 10-inch lines in there and isolated it, and we got the fire hydrant in and everything. We just gotta get it, covered back up and stuff, and it just seems like we hadn't had another leak down the block that day, and so we had to run down there and get that leak fixed, and then we got told that there was one up on Second and Evans that night. It's like, really?
They're all failing at once, kind of.
And so we're down to the point where we need to really get these holes open so that when those guys come in, they can, get them put in and not have to.
David, I know you're fatigued, but I want to say thank you and to all the staff for everything y'all are doing. I've been dropping by to check on y'all, covered for them a couple of times. They're really, for being green suiters, my estate, they're really doing a good job.
Yeah, and I got videos of, which we'll download on how we did the valves, and
and, fire hydrant, like that, I got videos. I just gotta figure out how to download to the guys. And then he can put it on, you know, his blog or whatever they.
I'm gonna be posting it to the website. It's videos of how they did the hot tap process. That's gonna be on our YouTube channel that I just created, and we're also gonna do a video of the replacement of hydrant.
You know, just to show people how, what, you know, what we are trying to do, you know. Better serve the community. So,
There will be some people who are interested in it, there will be.
yeah, so. I won't be here tomorrow, but Leo and Julie and Justin will be here, and then Jason. Probably have babies right now, so.
Yeah, you better not come to work tomorrow.
So,
David, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
We all
Thank
do
you,
that, thank you.
David. I appreciate it. All right, so I don't see more department heads back there, so, before Melissa comes up, if you don't already know this, Melissa will be leaving us towards the end of February. So we're definitely saddened to hear that, but happy for her. She's gonna start the next chapter of her life in southeast Kansas and Erie, Kansas. So she'll be guiding us up until the end of February, or if we find a situation sooner, maybe a little bit sooner, but, so she called us this last week and let us know that, so wasn't sure if everybody knew that, but word does travel fast, so. But with that said, we'll do something a little more, congratulatory for you later, but for tonight, do you have any comments?
I do not, and I will not be giving this.
Right, right.
Well, thank you.
So any comments tonight?
No.
Something, okay, yeah, we'll
Oh,
definitely.
no, so you only have something council meeting. She can write some comments for me. Oh, we're gonna all my questions for you.
Well, so what's the boundaries with discussing what I talked to you and Dan about last week regarding the possible replacement?
It's executive session, right?
I don't know.
Non-elected personnel?
He's not non-elected personnel, he's
No, I mean, it would be
me. This position is appointed.
an appointed position. So how would we, what would be an executive session to discuss an appointed position?
No, you can't have an executive session, you have to just discuss it.
All right, we'll discuss this.
All right, I just wanted to make sure.
Why don't we get through all of this
Yes.
and during my comments, we'll discuss it.
Okay.
All right, anything else, Melissa?
No.
All right, what do you think? You ready to go?
We had a very successful employee luncheon on Friday for our Christmas luncheon. We slaved away in the kitchen making chicken fried steaks, and it was a really good time, and everybody seemed to enjoy it. And, it's always good to get us all together. Just a reminder, the 25th is obviously Christmas, so we will have our council meeting on the 27th, just so everybody remembers that. And then also our offices will be closed, starting at 11:30 on the 22nd, and will be open on the 27th.
That was a great Christmas party, thank you.
It was super fun.
Yeah, did a great job, Callie, and Chief did a great job, and Dustin. And I appreciate Wayne coming, everybody. It's tough to get there.
Thanks for being there.
Yeah, Patrick Colby, so it was good. Anything else, Callie? Okay, Dustin.
Citizenship Academy, you have 4 days to apply. And 27th of January, we're putting together the event, 8 o'clock, 900.
Anybody
You
going?
got your polo shirts.
It's mainly for citizens, but you can still go. Free. It's like eight
Yeah,
hours.
but no, this is council retreat.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm already.
Seventh is council retreat.
Yes.
Just say, you
Okay.
said citizenship academy.
You see, then you get,
Citizenship Academy is I want the applications in by the 15th.
all right, and then we are doing it on the 27th, that's confirmed.
Yep,
In
Okay.
January, right?
yep,
And that's at the 900 room,
yep, starting at 8.
okay, until we don't know.
Well, until, the morning part, Callie and I are still throwing together the details, but the morning part's gonna be us presenting, and then the afternoon is touring.
Okay.
It's kind of the general idea, and Callie says, she's got some additional stuff she wants to do, so.
All right, so that's for council, then you have citizenship.
We are
Academy.
not playing games. All right.
Is this a relaxed event? I mean, 8 o'clock on a Saturday, can I come in sweats?
I don't care what.
I mean, I feel like, I won't be dressed up. It'll be like a council.
Melissa will still.
Let's make it cash.
No power suits. Wear whatever you want, Aaron, it's fine.
So the 15th is citizenship, or 15th of December is citizenship.
And that's from the application.
Application, but these folks could still go to that if they choose.
Yes.
All right. Okay, anything else, Sis?
I got plenty, but no.
Okay, all right, Tyler, do you have anything?
No.
Wayne?
I don't think so. You know, it's gonna be blowing snow on the 27th of January when you go out to Lagoon, right?
That's a good thing I've already been out there.
You could skip the meeting. Press.
Bottle park.
All right, Eric, you have anything?
No, I'll give Colby some props. I went up to his talent show with Nashville. I don't know if I'm getting a Nashville experience, I think is what it was called. And they did a great job, so thoroughly enjoyed that. So that's all I got to say.
Thank you.
I got nothing.
That's enough,
I
Darcy?
got nothing.
All right, I guess that leaves me, so had a great weekend, we did the Christmas tree lighting, which turned out really well, we had a lot of people there. And we sang Christmas carols and we kind of started a tradition and we're gonna get an even bigger tree next year, but it's fine what you have, it was more about getting the people together than it was the tree. But you know the mechanics for getting a tree in central Kansas, so you learn that. So that's gonna be yearly events, we started that, and then I went to the chili cook-off, which I voted for Chiefs chili. And I think I had an allergic reaction to it. Not sure, I'm trying to narrow down exactly what happened.
In all fairness, you tried all eight.
I did, but it was yours that I voted for and I ate the most of, but it was really delicious, so, that was great, that was Saturday night. And, went to the Christmas party on Friday, that was really cool too, so, a lot of great events, there's a lot to talk about, but let's kind of, so sad that Melissa's leaving. But an opportunity has presented itself, and we talked about putting this out for bid. So it looks like Melissa's leaving the law firm and Greg's leaving. So we really don't know at this point what happens to the Sherman, Hoffman and Miller law firm in the future, correct? So we don't need it, we don't know who's gonna be in it.
John Sherman is not going to be city attorney, so I can tell you that much.
Correct, so at this point, there's no interest in that law firm maintaining this business. So Patrick Hoffman, who was the former city attorney, is interested in the job. I guess he is by himself. Does he have a law firm, an LLC, or what?
I don't actually know for sure what he has, to be honest with you.
Right, so I had Dustin give him a call. It sounded like something we should do unless there's strong reservations. The fact that he's local, where we're not with the law firm, we talked about that, how we want to diversify, and I think there are only 2 other attorneys in the county. So we're kind of. No, he works here, he's established in business here, but his residence is in Salina, so we are helping someone that's from the community and is interested in helping us again. He's been instrumental in the past. So we just kind of want to bring this up, and I think Dustin talked to him 2 days ago just to kind of learn more, and I've not talked to Dustin since then, but I wanted to hear what you learned.
He is interested with the stipulation that council would be interested.
Yeah.
That's what he told me. He does, what he doesn't want is to have the impression that the appointment is pushed. He wants to have a consensus, say, council would be interested, is the way I understood his official position.
And you've not talked finances at all or anything like that?
I did a little bit, so I can tell you that without a doubt, he is not a believer in by fee charging. That was something that I was prepared for, because I know that a lot of attorneys do that.
So it's a flat fee.
It would be a flat fee, but we did not discuss actual price.
Okay.
He didn't want to even go that far unless he knew that council would want to enlist him for his services.
So we need some opinions and feedback.
Did we do bids before?
We haven't gone out for procurement since the 80s for an attorney.
Okay,
And I think that's a mistake
I do too.
to continue that operation.
And he is willing to bid on it.
I think
He
we should
said
do
that.
Yes, He would be. He just wants it to be fair.
I don't know that your first selection needs to be bid on, price, I think qualifications and person be your first consideration and then negotiate price from there personally. But I do think I think the other law firm has done some city or county work. They may be interested also. But, I think you need to put it out there and advertise that person.
Darcy, what are your thoughts?
I think we should, I mean, I like Patrick a lot, but I don't think it would hurt to put it out for bids either.
Jessica?
Basically the same thing. I think Patrick would serve us well, but now is a great time to start the process and just moving forward. We go forward with bids.
Aaron?
I like breaking molds, let's do things when they haven't been done, so.
Tyler, agree?
Yeah, we need to move around.
It's your call what you want me to do.
Okay,
Gotta put together a request for qualifications first.
so Melissa, if we go through the bid process and I just decide to appoint Patrick, and that's just it?
Well, you make the appointment and the council votes to approve.
The same thing as the library board thing, right?
Right.
Okay, everybody understands that? So we could go through this bid process and then I could appoint,
But we don't have to prove.
correct, we could go in a circle, we could go, right,
That's what I was making sure, is that we still have a say in it.
you do, but I'm just saying we could go into a circle. So I'm just saying that that's a realistic possibility. After it's all done, but we're gonna go through the bid process and just get feedback. So I don't think we'll ever do that, but it could happen.
So is my official direction, Mr. Mayor, to go out to bid?
Yeah.
With council?
Yeah, I think so. Get some feedback and then, we'll get it all and we'll just hash it over, go from there.
So by Christmas, what I will do is I will draft a proposal submitted to Melissa for her guidance. And I will present it to you for final approval before it's posted.
I do it before Christmas. I just get on it. Let's get moving. I'm not trying to replace you sooner, but, we gotta have somebody in February and that takes time, You've seen it with the IT people, you just can't suddenly summon them, you've gotta, then they've got to prepare a quote, that can take a week or two, They'll come and ask you some questions, so it takes time.
All right, well then I will draft something,
Yeah.
as long as Melissa okays it for language, you're okay with me posting it publicly?
Yeah.
Okay,
All right. Well, that said,
well, I do had an incident that come up today, Mr. Mayor, that I would
Go
like
ahead.
Melissa's guidance on an executive session.
okay, all right, I'm sorry, that'll be
About 10 minutes, maybe.
10 minutes, okay, what time is it?
6:37.
Sorry for the last minute, council. But I think it's important.
Who needs to be in?
I mainly just need Melissa's guidance and your guidance on how you want me to handle the situation.
Is it for attorney-client privilege?
Yes, yes.
Which one? Attorney-client privilege?
Yep,
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to go into executive session to include the governing body, the mayor, city administrator, and city attorney to discuss matters of attorney-client privilege and come out at, how about 6:50?
All right, Counselor Coates has made a motion to go to executive session for attorney-client privilege to come out at 6:50, including city attorney, city clerk, city administrator, council, mayor. Any questions?
I'll second.
All right, Counselor Hanson has seconded that motion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. We'll go into executive session.
Kelly, you gotta stick around and do this anyways.
Well, it doesn't really matter that
you want me to call you tomorrow?
Yeah, well, I'll call Callie.
Okay.
Yes,
Cause can you send me that picture? or
Yep.
those pictures?
I will email it.
She's got it
Just to my email.
Yep.
Okay,
I can do it.
Thank you.
I can text it to you right now.